if you shoot and it's not on YouTube, did it even happen? No, I'm not sure. It didn't. Alright guys, I'm going to do another voiceover sort of breakdown of the Tennessee State match 2020 that I shot a couple weeks ago. Ended up being third in Master and ESP division. I had a somewhat okay match, and we'll get into that a little bit, but here's sort of the rundown here of what happened, what went wrong, what went well. I'm gonna go into a bit more detail of each one of these things real quick so that you have a bit more context about what I mean. The good is like, except for ammo issues, the gun ran. It was only ammo issues. My index was good, meaning when I came up to draw or when I came around the corner or whatever, when I pulled the gun up to my eye, the sights were aligned and they were on target. My reloads, I had just installed a extended slide stop, which was literally got put on the Thursday before the Friday that I shot, and I made use of it, and I actually helped me quite a bit on the reload, so that's good. And the gun, despite, I literally thought I was not going to make power factor the whole match, but when I actually did finally chronograph at like 850, the 153 power factor felt like 125. It felt like sub-minor. It shot really soft. The bad, of course, is I had some ammo issues, which we'll see in various stages, and I was just filtering out all the match ammo I had reloaded. I was checking every single one of them by the end of the day, checking for high primers, and I reloaded about 300 rounds for this 180 round match. I probably set aside 100 of those, and then actually had to pull some practice ammo out. On the individual stages, I'll just go into detail when we get to those stages, but I just didn't execute some of them. Stage 5, again, I'll go into detail when I get to stage 5. But, ultimately the ugly, I just wasn't as prepared for this match as I really wanted to be. Shooting staff day kind of sucked. And then work has been sort of like full-time, busy. So that wasn't helping either. And so that's the good, bad, and the ugly. So let's watch the actual match itself. I still did come in third, so I can't complain too much. But these are sort of related to what I'm going to be talking about as we go through the match. Universal start stage. Not much to talk about here. Loaded to 6, 3 to the body, 3 to the second body, do a reload, finish up another 3. Little slow. Could have been a little faster. Wasn't the worst, wasn't the best. As we all know, it's hard to win matches on that start stage, but it's real easy to lose them. Alright, car stage. So this is kind of interesting. This is not actually my first stage of the day. This is actually just the first one that we didn't have to reshoot. I don't really want to show you the reshoot. It's just not super relevant, but it's just be aware that this is actually my second real stage of the day. The reshoot, I'll talk about it when we get to that stage individually, but ultimately, I'm kind of not in a great mood at this point because I actually shot that first stage pretty well, and I was kind of being made aware that we were going to have to reshoot that stage. So coming into this stage, sort of off my game a little bit, but it actually turned out to be one of my better stages of the day. Not much to it. Be quick, make up all the time right there at the beginning. The faster you can get that mag to your belt and you can get shooting, the better. Chopped down pretty good at each little position of movement. Reload wasn't bad. I did fumble it a little bit. But overall, I was pretty happy with this stage, and it actually showed in the results. It was one of my higher percentage finishes here. I think I might have actually won this stage or came close to it for my division, but I was just concentrated on really making sure that I spent the effort and got that mag to belt quickly and successfully on the first try. That was my focus here. And then I really don't like 2 to the body, 1 to the head, but it is what it is. I just let it ride and managed to zero down the stage. The standard stage with the much feared 30-yard shot. I didn't let this stage get to me. I think the more you worry about it, the worse it is. It's unlimited. It's concealment not required. So it's not a true standard. You can make up mistakes. So I just went in here and just was gonna let it ride. Let's shoot it. Because I am a better shooter than I am a group shooter. So 1 to the head, no problem. Pretty decent reload. 3 to the body. I hear the steel, so I do a makeup there. That means I'm putting one less on that second last target there. And then you're already doing a reload. I was already lined up, so I just put an extra 2 shots out there on that 30-yard target just to feel good about it. Stage 1. Okay, well, let's talk about this stage, and then we'll talk about how I was able to shoot it and the problems I ran into. The stage itself had some really tight shots. I was just determined to sit there and make sure I got a really good sight picture on each of the targets. There's a lot of hard cover. This was definitely an more optic friendly stage and not a very iron sights friendly stage. So I knew I could not rush these shots, and that I need to have a good sight picture, good trigger press on each of the shots into the train, as it were. And I managed to do a pretty good job on that. I wasn't too many points down, but I did have problems elsewhere, so we'll go into that. So things started going wrong basically right at the start. You can see I'm backing up to the activator, and the activator catches me in my vest and pulls me in. I nearly DQ'd. I was halfway out of the holster, or about to be all the way out of the holster, and went ahead and stopped and got free, and then continued to shoot from there. So then I engaged those out of order. That's where that PE comes from. The rest of the stage went pretty smoothly overall. Again, I'm kind of taking my time getting my splits, verifying my hits you saw there. And then at the very end here, you can see I'm looking at a double. And I'm really trying to make sure that this is a double, and then I'm going to call that as a double. Now that becomes important here at the end, because what I really want is I want to reshoot. My contention is that the prop interfered with my run and that I want to reshoot. But I was so caught up in calling that double and helping them score that double that I did not ask for a reshoot at the end of the run, and therefore I was no longer entitled to a double, which is upsetting. But I guess at the end of the day I can see their kind of call, which is you can't help score and ask for a reshoot. But again, I was so caught up in that double I forgot to ask for a reshoot, so kind of a bummer. Ultimately the run went reasonably okay anyways, but I just wasn't happy about that overall. So I try and shake that off, and I'm coming to this next stage, because this next stage is very much a Montlake, Chattanooga stage. Like, this is what they like to do at Tennessee up there, and I like to shoot them. So I was trying to get pumped up, trying to shake it off, trying to do well on this one. And this is the first stage where I actually had ammo issues. So watch it here towards the end of this run. Trying to get aggressive, get low, trying to move. There was an opportunity to engage those open targets earlier, but I just didn't see the point. Get up close. Verify when I left. Hit this guy 3. You cannot leave that position until you're fully reloaded, or else you'll get a PE. And there's my first light strike. And just finish it up. So, and now I'm going to actually talk more about shooting this match here. Yep, try to be aggressive here at the beginning. Get up close, because there's too much hard cover to be shooting those from back and on the move. Get some good hits there. Verified as I left. Dump 3 on here to do the reload, but don't leave cover till then, and then click. Okay, first high primer of the match. You'll see more of those, but that was the first one. Next stage. This is the all strong hand only stage. This is actually my reshoot. They had some issues with the activator at the beginning, so this is my reshoot. The first one also had the same ammo issues, but the important thing on this one was that the swinger out there had to be engaged strong hand only. And honestly, everyone got in their heads about it. But if you got a good sight alignment and trigger press, it wasn't that bad. I was just plagued by high primers this whole stage. And I think it's because strong hand only, there was a chance where the primer would get seated by the slide on some of the other ones. But this is where it really showed up, and I got really diligent about my ammo after the stage. Here we go. Left to right, not much here. You know, they're really pretty close. And then first high primer means I missed the first go round on the swinger, and I have to eject that round out, which leaving me one less to engage it. Forces my reload a little early. And then I try and stay out of the port and fail. I get too far into the port. That's my bad. But just high primers all over everywhere, and it just really just messed up that whole run. Again, near far. It's pretty close. You didn't really have to worry about being zeroed down, especially since it's strong hand only. There's that first click. See it once, see it twice, and I'm slide locked, so I might as well move on. Again, got too far into the port, and I'm just having to deal with these light strikes from here. Click. It's got a little frustrating, but I'm not gonna lie, but ultimately it is what it is. On this stage, I did really well, 94%. I have no idea why, because my run was a hot mess. Retention, I decided to go right then left. It just flowed better that way. I, was going to do retention, and then you're right there, so you might as well get the headshot. You're already at a stop. Then mop up the right side, and then that kind of made the round count work as you reloaded. Even though it was a right to left reload as a right-hander, I still felt it was better. Get those partials and then mop up on the left. That was my plan. The execution was a bit lacking here, so we'll go through it here. At the buzzer, we get the retention thing. Did okay there. Here we go. Pop, pop. You're right there, so take a step. Get the guy in the open. Go to the corner. Bang, bang. Steal. Bang, bang. And I actually dropped one more. I meant to drop one more. That's that little hitch hesitation. It's like, oh man, I should have dumped. So I ended up taking a standing reload right there. I almost going back. I see one that's pulled halfway into the black there, but I ended up seeing that it broke into the brown, so I didn't stop. But it did throw me off. So first person mode here, retention. And here's where you can see why I just went ahead and took that headshot. It was kind of a claustrophobic shot. And I meant to dump 4 there and dump 3, and that causes this slide lock reload. Probably kept me from, winning the stage here, even with all the other hesitation and everything else. Pop, pop, steal, pop, pop. That's all there is to it. So now stage 5, which is my absolute worst stage of the match. Bit of background here. We just came from chronograph. It started raining. I'm filtering out ammo left, right, and the other. I have like half my ammos now got filtered out because of high primers, and I'm just trying to find ammo that will work for the rest of the match. We don't really watch the squad ahead of us because of the rain, and I'm the first shooter on the stage. So these are all reasons why my prep was not as good as it should have been. I actually shot this stage without even seeing the presentation of the swinger because we thought it was going to rain on us, and I was ready to just, let's ride, let's go, let's shoot. I'd rather shoot not in the rain and not see it as much and not do as much of a walkthrough. Well, that was a mistake because my execution on this was just poor. I should have just gone left to right the whole thing or right to left the whole thing, but you can just see there's just so much hesitation and so much back and forth here. And then I was unprepared for that quick presentation of the waiver and the disappearance. And plus my stands right there, you can see I'm just getting rocked back, which is, I need to be a bit more aggressive, a bit forward. That'll help with my splits. And this is just death by 1,000 cuts, right? I'm throwing ones and ones and twos, and for every target I can't zero it down, because if I zero it down, or try to zero it down, I'm going to throw it in the black. I'm not an optic shooter right here. This is irons. I had to be a bit more conservative on all those partials, and it cost me just 1 down, 1 down, 2 down, 1 down, 2 down on every target. And then right here, steal. I only got 1 good shot off on it, and that is all you get. So that's why that stage just sucked for me. This stage was kind of fun. One of the things that you might notice is the shower curtain makes a terrible prop. Before I started, it was blowing into my face, and then as I was about to get started, it was blowing away from me. I saw a couple people ahead of me get hung up in the shower curtain, so I took the extra full half second to sweep the curtain way out of the way so that I could shoot the stage and not have to worry about it. And I think that ultimately paid off. Otherwise, it was a pretty straightforward stage. Some weekend stuff on up-close targets up front, and then stage and mag later in the stage and mop up. I tried to make it an aggressive transition at that first position, or the second one after you leave the first one. And that seemed to work out okay, but I probably could have reloaded off the other thing and gotten the reload a quick bit faster. But here's this, come up, shoot those 2, try and be as aggressive there. And if I had grabbed the mag right there in the foreground, that might have saved me a little time. Otherwise, the reload happened, I guess, a little late compared to what it could have been here. So there's the curtain blowing away from me. And, again, I didn't have to mess with that much, but we can real up close, just make sure you get your hits. And then the mag I should have picked up is that one right there. Right, and then I would not be reloading so late. But that's just a little minor tweak. Otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward stage. Pretty happy with it. This stage I'm sitting at 74%, and I honestly don't know how to really pick up all that extra time. Maybe the 2 points down. I'm not sure, because I ran this pretty good, and I'm not sure where there's optimizations. Maybe attack reload? I don't know. We'll go through it and see maybe where I could have picked up some more time. The start, you know, I guess these could have been a little faster. Not too bad, right? Want to make sure I get to my hits. And maybe attack load there, I'm not sure. I mean, because you are going to take a standing reload here, but it didn't seem like worth the optimization. And then get over here, and then this out and back. Man, I just put like 4 on it. I just put my muzzle out there, and when it came out, I put all over it. But I'm still struggling on this one to see where they got me at 70%. Otherwise, there's just someone just burned it down. Because those are some tight shots. And I did not want to be coming out of attack load there. And you'll see me just paper, steal. You know, you couldn't chase it, because if you chase it, you might pull into the non-threat. But that was okay run. Final stage of the day. This is actually our reshoot. What they did is, you see the diagram here, that steel on the far left actually got moved to be a steel in front of it. My original run was like 17 seconds. The reshoot was 20. And I made a mistake on the reshoot, which is kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. The biggest thing here, you know, don't get your hand up there, don't DQ, go 1-for-1 on steel, pay attention on the movers. The drop turner had an opportunity that if you pulled it to the right, you'd actually be in the non-threat with a pass-through. I thought that was kind of devious. But I decided to go left and then just work left to right. You are going to take a standing reload. I just ended up dumping too many rounds and had to take another standing reload, but we'll watch it here. So I'll be, you know, go through, stay on the left side. I was able to get a lot of shots. Shot that steel down. Take your standing reload, but move. And then I could have got more on that, but I was worried about round count, and it did cost me. So if I had gone less shots on that out and that waiver, I would have been better, but it didn't cost me too much time. So looking at the final points, final time, basically stage 5 and those light primer strikes pretty much cost me contention. Obviously, I would have liked to have cleaned up a little bit of the other runs, but you know, if I were to pin 2 stages, it would be the stage 5 and probably the one where I had light strikes, and I could have made up a lot of ground there. But I was okay, happy with the match overall. I know I left a lot of the table, and I'm pretty happy with 3rd overall. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do that. And Tyler right here is encouraging you to do that with his pacer gun. So hit that subscribe button. And I'll try and make more of these in the future, guys. I got more matches coming up. Thanks a lot.